Special in-depth report now. Since the 2007-2008 financial crisis, the Kern County Sheriff's Office says they've been feeling the impact and it's putting public safety in danger.
23 ABC's Josh Sanders dives into the struggle the office is facing as they try to get more deputies to work for the department and keep the ones they have. Josh?
Yeah, it's been 12 years since that crash, hitting many in Kern County hard, along with the Kern County Sheriff's Office. And as the county has grown, the office hasn't. KCSO says if the Board of Supervisors doesn't act fast, the county is headed for a public safety crisis.
You know, a lot of people say it was their lifelong goal. It wasn't mine.
Chief Deputy Tyson Davis has seen a lot change in his nearly 30 years with the Kern County Sheriff's Office.
In my career, I've worked several years in the jail, several years in patrol, and several years in investigations. And what I've seen over the last few years is that each of those areas have been shrunk.
In 2007, the U.S. housing market crashed, a step in a series of many that evolved into a financial crisis which some economists consider the worst since the Great Depression, doubling the national unemployment rate and gutting the county's budget.
The budget deficit that we've seen over the last 4 years or so, a $44.5 million structural deficit, has definitely put us in a difficult situation when it comes to giving raises, not just for our sheriff deputies, but for all of our employees.
Zach Shrivner sits on the county's board, representing the 2nd District, made up of several outlier communities feeling the impact of deputy downsizing.
From 2007 to now, there's 35 less deputy sheriffs and there's 78 less detention deputy sheriffs. That's 113 uniform bodies that we don't have, that we had in 2007, that we don't have working now.
According to KCSO, since 2007, they've had to cut 50 operational positions impacting Metro Patrol and outlying county areas like Tehachapi and Boron. They've also cut detention deputies by 75 positions due to layoffs in 2009.
The morale has obviously dropped dramatically in our department as a whole. I believe it's at an all-time low, at least since I've been with this department.
Deputy John Puga has been with the Sheriff's Office for close to 2 decades. Last July, finding himself alone, facing a situation he says should never have happened.
I was taking what was supposed to be a simple petty theft report that the suspect had already left, and it was 2 hours later. While I was there watching the video and taking down the information from the store manager, the suspect walked back into the store.
In this video, you can see Puga wrestling with the suspect. He was only able to gain control after drawing his weapon. During the struggle, his radio knocked out of reach, his closest backup in Mojave, 30 miles away.
You know, doing their job, it's just that we're so spread out in areas like, you know, Mojave, Roseman, Boron, trying to handle all the calls that we have out there.
Not only are there fewer deputies, Kern County's population is growing. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2000, the county's population was almost 662,000. In 2010, 840,000. And last year, pushing 900,000. Along with reducing staff, Kern County's oldest law enforcement agency has also struggled to keep up with pay. Deputies starting at just over $25 an hour, compared to Bakersfield Police making almost $30.
We've actually lost lieutenants and commanders to other agencies, and they leave and they get a raise.
Richard Anderson is president of the Kern County Law Enforcement Association. He says in the last 9 years, 390 deputies have left the department, either retiring or going to other agencies. And according to KLEA, deputies haven't seen a raise in 10 years.
Twice I tried it with the tax. The first time I presented it to the board and I outlined where we were headed and the crisis that we were headed down the road to, and the board at that time voted not to allow the public to vote on the tax. The second time around, I took it to the board and I said, we're now where I said we would be, and we need this tax on the ballot. We need the public to support this because we're in a crisis.
On several occasions, Sheriff Donnie Youngblood has tried to generate the funds needed to hire new deputies through a 1% sales tax. That proposal failing last year, with 52% of voters opposing the measure. Supervisor Shrivner says there are several factors that go along with the structural deficit challenging the board's ability to provide raises for KCSO. He says other agencies like Kern Fire are also struggling.
Our pension costs have gone up by 70%, 70, in the last 10 years. Back in 2005, we were paying $50 million a year to fund the pension program. It's $300 million today.
Shrivner says that extra money could have gone to raises, but due to promises made in the past regarding KCSO pensions, he says the board's hands are tied.
We are tired. We need help. We've been asking for help. We've been begging for help.
Supervisor Schrider says he recognizes the financial challenges that the county are facing are complex. He says both the board and the county administrative office are trying to manage within their resources their ability to address KCSO retention and recruitment. But from KCSO, bottom line is they say they're spread too thin and public safety is suffering for it. In studio, Josh Sanders, 23 ABC, connecting you.